Hey, what's up, soldiers? My name is GregFPS, the Zombies Extraordinaire, and welcome back to another Saturday Top 10, where today, guys, we're going to be counting down the top 10 worst wonder weapons in Call of Duty Treyarch Zombies history. This video was recommended by Kat, and I'm sure other people also recommended it, but Kat was the first one I saw. If you guys have a top 10 idea you want to see here on the channel, make sure to comment it down below, because let's be honest, guys, we have 2 years until the next Call of Duty Zombies game comes out, so I'm going to be struggling for content over here, so any recommendations would be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Coming in at the number 10 spot is going to be the Savage Impaler from Dead of the Night. Now, this is basically one NX Shadowclaw from Black Ops 3, but it does have a huge buff in damage because it can kill Crimson Nosferatus and regular Nosferatus in literally one shot, which is actually really good. Now, the thing that makes this weapon not worth getting and not that great overall is because of actually getting it itself. Now, what you have to do is bring a ghost all the way from next to Pack-a-Punch all the way back up to the mausoleum inside of the graveyard, and honestly that in itself is kind of annoying because you can't actually make it there in one try. If you're playing co-op you can, and then you have to get 4 different pieces of jewelry and things like that, and by killing a zombie a specific way and then the ghost drops it. Overall, I think it's a little too tedious to actually get, and once you get it, like, yeah, it kills the Nosferatu guys, but other than that it's a pretty ineffective weapon, and it takes up one of the weapon slots, which honestly makes no sense when you could have the Hellion Salvo and the Alistair's Annihilator. Now, if you have Mule Kick, yeah, maybe, but overall I don't think it's worth using, and it comes in here at the number 10 spot. Coming in at the number 9 spot is going to be the Black Ops 3 Raygun. Now let's take a quick trip down memory lane in World at War too much splash damage. In Black Ops 1 we had PhD Flopper to get rid of the splash damage. In Black Ops 2 we had Perma PhD to get rid of splash damage, and also on Origins and the Wonder Fizz. Black Ops 3 comes along, and yeah, there's a Gobblegum that you have a 1 in 5 chance of actually getting, and it's not really worth running because there's way better Gobblegums as well. And honestly, every gun is basically a wonder weapon with alternate ammo types, so it completely makes the Raygun useless. And then in Black Ops 4 it was also really bad as well. Then in Cold War it's OP, best weapon in the game. And then we go over, or besides maybe the Cerberus, and then we go into Vanguard, which is just absolute trash, just like the game itself. So overall, the Black Ops 3 Raygun, though, is absolutely the worst. Like I said, there's other weapons that are just so much better. Every wonder weapon in Black Ops 3 is significantly better than the regular Raygun, and it had to be on the worst weapons list. And it comes in here at the number 9 spot. Coming in at the number 8 spot is going to be the Wonderwaff Scarf Shoots, the one from Tag Der Toen. I definitely pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. But basically, what I think Treyarch was trying to do here was, the Wonderwaff was already on Call of the Dead, so how can we make it different? They decided to add a scope from the Scavenger onto a Wonderwaff, and it didn't really work out that great in my opinion. I think this weapon is really underwhelming. Now, yeah, there's an easy quest to get it for free, which is definitely nice, but other than that, I just think this wonder weapon kind of lacks any personality in a way. It just feels super weak overall, even when you Pack-a-Punch it, and it's just not worth using in general. So that's why it comes in here at the number 8 spot. You can literally get a Thunder Gun. Yes, you need it for the Easter egg, but the Thunder Gun is just like immensely better on this map. Coming in at the number 7 spot is going to be the Blood of the Dead version of the Acid Gat. Now, this weapon, or the Vitriolic Withering, if you Pack-a-Punch it, has a ridiculous amount of splash damage, which really hinders this weapon and makes it absolutely pretty much unusable compared to the Black Ops 2 counterpart, which is absolutely one of the best wonder weapons in the game. Not really for high rounds, but just in general it's fun to use. So the Vitriolic Withering has so much splash damage, and yes, you have PhD Slider, but when the game actually came out, PhD Slider didn't negate all splash damage. It actually didn't, so you would still down even if you used it, and it made it pretty much completely useless. Now the Magma Gat is way better, and it's used for other things as well, and you can lead zombies to one direction just like the Vitriolic Withering, but it's just not as good, and in my opinion one of the worst wonder weapons in the game. So it comes in here at the number 7 spot. Coming in at the number 6 spot is going to be the ugly stepbrother of the Thunder Gun, and that is the Tundra Gun, the ice version from Tag Der Toten. Now, when you shoot this at zombies, they freeze, which is really cool, but the big downside to this weapon is it has blowback damage. So you basically need to run PhD slider to negate that damage that you take. And when you have a wonder weapon that literally damages you, it kind of makes it useless to use in general. So for that reason alone, I think it's one of the worst wonder weapons we've ever gotten in zombies, and that's why it comes in at the number 6 spot. And honestly, it's not even that effective anyways. Like, the radius isn't that good, and I just don't like it. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we're going into Cold War with D Machine, and this is the fire version of the DIE. Now, overall, I think that this weapon is by far the worst in Cold War, hands down. This thing has only a little bit of ammo, it doesn't deal a ton of damage, it doesn't kill a ton of zombies, and I guess the only thing it's good against is really the megatons in general, but it just is super underwhelming. I never use this weapon. If I'm doing the Easter egg, I just get the upgrade, shoot the prong for capturing the megaton splits, and I never take it again. Compared to like the electric version or even the ice version or the poison version, like, it's just so underwhelming comparatively that I don't think it's ever worth using, and no one ever uses it anyway. So I had to put it up on the list, and it comes in here at the number 5 spot. Okay guys, coming in at the number 4 spot is going to be the Death of Orion from 9. Now, overall, I am a huge fan of 9 and the Chaos storyline in general, but I do feel like the Death of Orion does not live up to the hype that the rest of the Chaos maps do live up to. Now, this weapon is not really that useful in general. You need it for a couple steps of the Easter egg, like grinding up the skull and making the 3 shots at the end, but other than that, I just feel like this weapon is not really used very well in general, because all you really can do is freeze zombies in their tracks and make them float, and overall I don't find that really useful at all. Other than that, like spotting and stopping the zombies in their tracks, it really doesn't work in my opinion, and it doesn't really make sense to be a wonder weapon. Would you guys even consider it a wonder weapon? Because I think it's one of the worst, and that's why it comes in here at the number 4 spot. Coming in at the number 3 spot is going to be the Jet Gun from Transit. Now, everyone knows this is one of the worst wonder weapons in all of zombies, but it actually deals infinite damage. But the main drawback to it is it takes forever to recharge, and then it can also break if you use it too much and the meter goes all the way down. Now, if you guys didn't know, you can actually hold out the Jet Gun and jump into a portal made by a denizen, and it will show the percentage use, which is really useful. Like, you can use it up until it goes to like 1% or whatever, which is really nice actually. But other than that, I think that the Jet Gun is just one of those weapons that is really annoying to use. It can break, you have really low mobility when using it, and overall it's just not that great. And being on one of the worst maps as well definitely does not help its case. So the Jet Gun comes in at the number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot is going to be the Winter's Howl from Black Ops 1 on 5, and it was also on the remake of Rucked as well. Now, overall, I really like the concept of the Winter's Howl. I just wish it was a lot better, or like the one in Classified, which has a ridiculous more amount of ammo, and it's just better overall. Now, the Winter's Howl's huge drawback is the ammo thing. It definitely does not have enough, and the fact that zombies can break out of the ice once you get into the higher rounds, it becomes really weak really quickly, and it's just not that useful on 5, which is a super claustrophobic map, and you can literally die at any instant on that map. I find myself dying to the most bullshit stuff on 5 in general, and having it on Verrucht, which is another really hard claustrophobic map, it just doesn't make sense to have that weapon there. Now, yes, I get it, it's on a claustrophobic map, you can clear out all the zombies, freeze them really quickly, but when they don't actually die from a wonder weapon, it makes it kind of useless, because yes, you can run into them and break them up and stuff, or just spam and then shoot the Mustang and Sally's to kill them, which is nice, but it's just not good enough, and that's why it comes in here at the number 2 spot. Alright guys, we have no honorable mentions this week because I didn't want to piss anyone off. So coming in at the number 1 spot is going to be the VR11 from Call of the Dead. Now, this weapon is actually really good in co-op. Co-op, it's like one of the best. But one of the big drawbacks to this weapon, when you're playing solo, it really has no use except for shooting George when he gets mad. But you can just bring him to the water wherever you are on the map, which is honestly not even that big of a bother unless he's like completely away from water, which can be an issue. But the VR11 in co-op's really good because you can shoot your teammate, they get insta kill for the duration that they are red, which is really cool actually. But I do think that the VR11 is just really annoying to get from the box, especially when you're doing the Easter egg, and it only has a limited amount of ammo and can only shoot one zombie at a time, and they'll run into the water and distract zombies and just die, turning into a CIA agent, which ends up appearing in Nuketown in Black Ops 2, which is kind of weird. But overall, I do think that the VR11 is just super useless in general unless you're doing the Easter egg or you're playing co-op. So for that reason, it comes in as the worst wonder weapon in Call of Duty Zombies history. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know what you want to see next here on the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.